Hey everybody, it's Lewis Porter Jr. As you can tell, it's early and I'm half awake, so this will be an interesting video podcast. Is it even a podcast or just a video cast? But I digress. So, all this week, well, this week and last week, I've been talking to the guys over at One Bookshelf, specifically their card division. Da-da-da. Booyah! I know you've seen this before, but just want to show you. Been talking about getting cards together and doing our spell decks. So currently, we've sent them, I think, 8 or 9 decks for spell decks to get done, to have them printed and have print-on-demand cards. So you people who want card versions can pick them up. And some people have been asking me, well, why are you doing cards? And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Watch. Bam. Bam. Small, compact, easy to carry around. The enemies cards. See, this is going to break into a whole business conversation too. So, POD cards are a really cool idea. They're relatively inexpensive to make. You can make a decent profit on them. But the real kicker that makes them really kind of important, that I think is, once again, the big game changer is, if you're someone like me who has a lot of his own art, that isn't stock art, that's his own created art, you want to use it as many times as possible to keep the cost of acquiring art down. For example, if you had a piece of art that you used once that cost you $100, well, that piece cost you $100. But if you use that same piece 10 times, it feels like it costs you $10 per time you used it. You saved the money on other pieces of art you could have used. So that's how I look at it. And I think card decks, especially like these that Paizo does, these enemy decks, great idea. Headshots, tons of little headshots. Put them on a card deck. Boom. You've taken that art you paid for and you find another use for it. And that's a big issue I think a lot of people don't think about when they make their products. They just, I just make them and we put art in them and whatever. It's like, no. Anytime I make a product, anytime we do really anything like that for me as a business person, I'm thinking about how can I use the same thing 3 or 4 times. A great example, even with the cards. Plot decks, cards, great idea. I saw these, Paizo did these, but we even did those, as in me, LPG Design. We did these for Mutants and Masterminds? Yeah, it was Mutants and Masterminds, way back in 2004. We did print-on-demand versions of them, the cut-out ones you do, like we do now. But this, let me pull out. Small piece of art, writing. Small piece of art, writing. Small piece of art, writing. And some of this stuff, okay. Some of this art you're going to see in other places. And some of it pieces of other things. And some of it will just be filler art. I mean, there's a lot of... backstabber. Boom. A lot of this is filler, inexpensive art that you can put in a lot of different places. So, and I mean, also the other cost of this. This set costs, what's the cost of this? Was it $10? $10.99. Alright. $10.99, not a bad cost. I get these plot decks, they work very well. Like I said, and condition cards, another one. We just happened to show you that. Condition cards, another one that works very well. I think print-on-demand cards are going to change a lot of stuff. Everybody knows I'm very big on printing, on the actual creation side of stuff, as in how to run your business. I mean, a lot of people want to do a lot of people want to do I want to make a cool game. I'm like, well, that's great. I want to make a cool game that's profitable. And some people are like, how could you say that? That's horrible. No, it's not. We're spending a lot of money in producing these things. They should make money for us. I mean, we're not doing it for free. And if we were doing it for free, we'd give it away for free. And we're not doing that. We're doing it because we love the games and we'd like to make some money. I'm just going to come out and say it. A lot of people won't say it directly, but it's true. It's true. This is a business. As much as you want to call it fun business, it's still a business. And you have to take it seriously like that. With that, what are the things we're going to talk about? Well, last week, I'm over here putting up my bookshelf. Not these, but those. We talked about print on demand from CreateSpace, which I've been thoroughly happy with. I'm looking even more intently at it. I like it. I like it a lot. We ship some books to JP in Denver, so if you're going to be in Denver, I guess the books that are going to arrive the 24th of December, just in time for Christmas. So, and I believe that Enchanted Grounds is getting a few copies. So there'll be the core rule book, core campaign book, the enemies books for the first ones, and the enemies books for the Folding Circles. We're actually in the process of doing a third source book. Yes, we have a third source book. That most likely might be our secrets of Neo Exodus, but I'm still working on the mechanics on that. Plus, I'm doing other little projects. But I think print on demand is kind of the game changer for a small publisher. The cost on those have come down to a point where it's really, really feasible for you to do short runs through them. And a lot of people are like, well, go traditional printing. You know, you print out X amount of copies, you'll get like them for 75 cents. And I always go back to, I think it was 2004, when there was a publisher who printed out 10,000 copies of his book. And he said he got them so cheap, they were like 41 cents each. And he wound up selling, I think, like 400 copies of it. It was some ridiculous number. And he had to basically just scuttle the other 9,000 books. Look, don't do that. That's a waste of your money. Even if you got them for that cheap, that's still a waste of money. Like I said, I'm not about wasting money. I want to make sure it's profitable from the beginning. So, if you're not sure about printing and you don't think you're going to do traditional printing, try print on demand. I mean, there's Lulu, there's CreateSpace, there's Lightning Structure, there's tons of guys. They all work different ways. Try the one that works best for you. I like CreateSpace. I like how they develop it. I like how it goes right to Amazon. I like how I can pay $25 and get retailers to basically get online with it. It's very, very simple. It's very inexpensive, and what I consider inexpensive compared to other ones. I always tell people to start with Lulu. Lulu is like the old warhorse. It's been there forever. It'll get you a great way to cut your teeth and understand some stuff, and then you can move on to the more advanced ones like Lightning Source and CreateSpace. But that's just a thought. What other fun things? Oh, cons. Yeah. Well, this year, JP and I were talking it over, and we're like, we really enjoyed going to PaizoCon, but the distance was a killer for me. I mean, it is on the other side of the country, literally, for me. I am in South Florida. It is in Seattle. I mean, you do the math on that. It's absolutely a long trip for me. So probably for 2013, we're not going to be able to make it. I'm hoping to maybe find a way, but I'm betting on the shorter venue being most likely Gen Con. It's just, Gen Con is just closer. It's closer. And what we'd like to do is possibly even go down to Dragon Con in Atlanta. Well, up for me, down for everybody else in Atlanta. And I think it could be a good spot for us. We have a couple guys who write for us for Neo Exodus out of Atlanta, and I think we could run some games there. I think some people would find it a lot of fun. And we'll see. Plus, I think there's a big Pathfinder following in Atlanta, and there's a lot of people who like playing in Atlanta. So I'm like, hey, playing in Atlanta, we've got a Pathfinder-related product. Let's see, maybe get some stuff in stores, that kind of thing. Just thinking about next year, since it's only 2 more weeks. Is that it? This year's less than 2 weeks to Christmas, so this year is basically over. Got to think about next year. Got to think about next year's products, next year's ideas. So, and I think that next year we're looking to also, like I said, we're looking to also push the cards, pushing the books, and looking at. I mean, we've been a very PDF-centered company for a very, very long time. But now I'm like, okay, let's get more into retail. Let's start doing cards. Let's even start doing other game systems. And there's one game system I want to do. I'm not going to say it, but I don't want to jinx myself. I've still got to write them a couple letters and talk to them about it. But I'd love to do some stuff in their mechanics. I love the genre they're covering. So I said I'm not going to say what it is. But I would really love to do it, but we'll see how that goes and see if we have time for that. That's another thing too, time. Yeah, I mean, I think that's really it. It's kind of light. Oh, an old card set that I love, and you see how badly I've always loved this card set. This is like the first one that really got me inspired of thinking of, doing cards. I always keep this in my bookshelf as a good piece of reminder. Also, if you're in the publishing side of the business, pick up stuff like this, card decks. Find stuff that you like, find stuff you like, pick it up, put it in your, I guess it, be your innovation or idea bank, and have it around you. So if you get an idea or you want to play with something, you can pick it up and think, why did I pick this up? What did this inspire me to do? And that helps inspire you to be more creative. I think that's a win-win. Anything else? No, I think that's about it. I also want to say thank you to everybody who checked out the video that JP did of his running of Bloody Ice. It's very funny to me. I think it's funny how many people seem to like Exodus. I mean, funny, haha, but funny like, oh, that, I thought when I'm creating it in your own room, you're thinking, oh, no one's going to really like this. The monsters are too crazy. The races are too crazy. But I think people have found like kind of a niche where it fits mentally for them. So we're getting more and more people interested in playing. I think that video is definitely another piece that shows you this is what makes us different. This is why people should play us. This is why we're enjoyable. And that's basically it. Alright, I'm going to get out of here because I'm going to eat some breakfast and have to go to work, of course, because I still am not that RPG millionaire that I'm planning to be. Well, not yet at least. Thank you so much. Talk to y'all later.